So we know that friendships matter, but they may matter more than we thought. Researchers found that a lack of friends can be not only hard on your mental health, but your physical well-being as well. So my next guest says we need to make our friendships a priority and take accountability for them. Life coach Chelsi Rasmussen is joining me to explain. Great to see you, Chelsi.
So great to be here.
You have me with the word accountability, which I know we'll get into in more depth in just a minute. But first, this idea that our emotional connections can impact our physical health. People may be surprised to hear that.
Yes, and that statistics that you said with the cigarettes, like it may not impact our lungs like cigarettes do, but it can get, so for instance, it can lower blood pressure. It can decrease cortisol, which is our stress hormone, and then it can also give our immune system a boost, having those deep, meaningful connections.
So that statistic you referenced, not having a strong social support can impact your health the same way smoking 15 cigarettes per day can.
Yes.
That's crazy.
It is astounding.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
I do love moments where we pause and recognize kind of the holistic self, like spirit, mind, body, it's all connected. We know that. Research like this proves that. Friendships are important, something else we know. Talk to me about this idea, though, of taking accountability with our relationships.
Yes, so it's so easy to blame the other person.
Always.
Right? And so what I encourage is to first evaluate the friendships that you're currently in and ask yourself, how am I showing up in these friendships? What am I contributing? Am I always being a taker? Or am I always giving everything that I have? Because both of those are unhealthy. And then also knowing that we become who we surround ourselves with and asking, okay, what habits am I picking up from these friends? Are these friends always gossiping? You have to look at internally how it's impacting me.
Recognizing that I will take that home with me.
Yes.
Home. I will take that in. I will take that into myself, my spirit. That'll become part of who I am. The qualities and the values my friends reflect.
And giving yourself permission to leave these friendships that if they are no longer aligning with your values and they're no longer serving your life, it's okay to walk away from them. I think as a society, we don't recognize the dissolve of friendships as much as we do romantic relationships, and that's very crucial because it's normal and completely healthy to have friendships that you may need to walk away from.
A breakup, so to speak.
Pretty much.
Women, and I don't need to tell you this, women's to-do lists are long. So when we talk about priorities, sometimes it's hard to stack friendships next to, say, family or church or work. Make your case. Why should friendships be a priority too?
Well, we know that it impacts our health, but so if you find this is you, that you're like, how am I going to fit in quality friendships? I want you to focus on the notion of quality versus quantity. Brene Brown has done so much research on this, and she calls it your heart circle. So your heart circle.
I like that.
Yes. So in your heart circle, these are people who you can be completely vulnerable with, and they can do so with you, and it's a safe place. And she has found that in order to have it affect our health in a positive way, we really only need a few people in that heart circle.
It's more quality than quantity.
Yes. Yeah. So think quality over quantity. The facade that the more friends you have, the better, isn't always the case.
Yeah. This idea that friendship takes effort, and this speaks back to the accountability that we were discussing. You say also with that effort, expect failed attempts.
Yes.
Like expect that it's not going to go great with some of these, outreaches.
Yes. So just like we wouldn't expect someone who's dating to marry the first person that they date.
Right.
It's okay. The more people that you meet, the more clear you will get on who you want to surround yourself with, what kind of friends you need in your life. It'll help you get more clear on that. You
mentioned vulnerability, and that's a word that we talk about often when we're discussing, female friendships or those heart circles, those connections. What's your idea of the right amount of vulnerability as we try to engage better friends? It's not a throw all your weaknesses and problems on the table.
No, absolutely not. And going back to this heart circle, but I am finding more and more people are really so they get stuck in these superficial friendships. And what we really need are deep, meaningful connections. And connections can't be made unless vulnerability is had. And obviously, spilling out your secrets to the grocery store clerk, that's not appropriate. But finding those people who you can share pieces of your heart with, that is what is key. So And what's beautiful is when someone is vulnerable, that gives the other person to be vulnerable as well. And connections are made when vulnerabilities are shared and heartfully heard. That is what makes deep, meaningful connections. And if someone is having a hard time being vulnerable, it just takes practice. Practice and practice and practice.
Because practice kind of evokes a comfort level around that type of sharing.
Yes, and it can be hard. It can be hard to open up your heart.
Yeah.
But that is how deep, meaningful connections are made.
In the quick 30 seconds we have left, how can technology trip us up in our efforts to create more meaningful friendships?
Obviously, put down your phone when you're face to face, but also this notion of feeling excluded is even more with social media. And so asking yourself, you know, did I really want to be invited to this event that I'm seeing on social media? And then if I didn't really care to go, maybe it's more of a feeling that a lack of a community I have. So I give you permission to make your own event, make your own gathering, and include those people that make a difference and mean the world.
Great advice. I do think it's a time of year when women start to look around and say, you know, where's my heart circle? Where are my people? I love that reference so much. And so this advice will hopefully help us move away from the superficial and speak more to and connect more with those meaningful relationships that the research tells us we need so desperately. Thank you, Chelsea.
You're welcome.
Where can we see more of your work?
Right now, I'm on Instagram. I get my coaching clients through there, and chat with Chelsea.
Chat with Chelsea.
Yep, chat
All
with
right,
Chelsea.
we'll link you over from our website. Thanks again.